Hi Tim, welcome to the 3 Generate TV studios. It's great to have you with us. Tim, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do as a job?
So I work for All We Can, which is the Methodist International Development charity, working in some of the poorest parts of the world, alongside people who are affected by global poverty and inequality. And we're trying to be a kind of Methodist voice for change in those communities.
And what are you doing here at 3 Generate this weekend?
So it's great to be here for this weekend. We're involved in facilitating a couple of logins and an exhibition on the Saturday afternoon, particularly focused on climate change, which is kind of the big issue on our agenda at the moment. So looking forward to working with some of the young people here at 3 Generate about that issue.
Why is it such a big issue right now?
I think, big picture, it's a big issue because this is our generation, I think, has a responsibility to respond to what's becoming a kind of crunch moment in the history of the climate of the planet. Most climate scientists are now saying that if we don't do something in the next kind of generation's lifetime, then our planet will become unsustainable very quickly. But more right now, for this weekend, is really good timing because at the beginning of next month, the global UN leaders are going to be meeting to talk about climate change. And I think this prevents us with an opportunity to speak up, to say something as Methodist young people, to say we want those leaders to do something and to make promises that will keep the planet sustainable for future generations.
And if you had to give us a top tip or a top couple of tips about how to be better users of our planet, how to be better stewards of our planet, what would your advice be?
I think as churches, as Christians, there's lots we should be doing in our personal lives. We live in a culture that's good at wasting and good at consuming, and we could all recycle more, reuse things more, not waste as much energy in our kind of daily lives. And I think as a church, sometimes our buildings are not the most effective use of limited resources. But also, I do think with this climate lobby coming up, this is a great time for us to speak out, to challenge our government, to say to your MP, to David Cameron, could you say something on our behalf and get some really legally binding things agreed in Paris next month that help to change the world.
How can people find out more about All We Can, and how can people get involved more with climate change and issues to do with climate change?
So I hope some of the people who we meet over the weekend will have the chance to talk some of those issues through with us. But otherwise, you can find us on our website, allwecan.org.uk. We're on Twitter and Facebook, and we'll be, especially during the next few weeks as we run up to the Paris summit, we will be tweeting and messaging about climate change and about how people can get involved. So do look us up.
It's been great to have you in the studios. We hope you have a really good weekend and
thank you.
Keep going. Thank you.